All right, everyone, are you able to see and hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Is courtroom 2 on the line? And I don't see courtroom 2. Oh, there's courtroom 2. Is anyone at courtroom 2? All right, let's go ahead and get started. This is the state expedited accusations calendar in the state court of Fulton County, Georgia. I am Judge Melanie Williams. This calendar is for those individuals who have been recently arrested, but the cases have already been formally accused and bound over to state court. All defendants, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. You also have a right to an attorney at this proceeding. This particular proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. It's also being recorded. That means any member of the public can log on and watch this. When I ask if you understand your rights, those are the rights to which I'm referring. And I'm also asking if you understand how I'm conducting the hearing. Those who receive a surety or a cash bond today will be reset to the state all-purpose calendar on the 31st of August. Those who receive a signature bond, whether through pretrial or the jail, will be reset further notice to a division judge for further adjudication. All right, have all defense attorneys had the opportunity to speak with their clients?
Yes, I did, except one Spanish case. We do have a Spanish interpreter case, Your Honor.
You saw the interpreter now, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Kim.
I'm sorry, Judge.
And Ms. Kim needs to go into that breakout.
Yes,
Well,
Your Honor.
You know, to believe courtroom 3 for the breakout.
Oh yeah, I see courtroom 3 is online now.
Yes, ma'am. So whenever the interpreter comes on, he's right there.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Your Honor, this is Christina Champagne. I'm not sure if that is Mr. Gonzalez Perez, but we are actually retained for him. We need the interpreter for the hearing, but we don't need to speak with him ahead of time. So I don't know, Ms. Kim, if that's the individual you're referring to.
That's the individual?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
And
thank you.
Judge, yes, I spoke with my client also, Judge.
Okay,
Judge,
all right, who do we have first?
We have position number 13, Ms. Pruitt.
All right, Ms. Pruitt, your case is 23 CR 005073C. You're charged with theft by taking and obstruction. Do you understand your rights?
One time. Say it one time.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard, can I have the history?
Second arrest last was 1986.
Okay, whose case is this for the state? Is it yours, Mr. Pallon?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, your recommendation?
Your Honor, our recommendation is a $500 signature bond through pretrial. No further contact with the victim, Mr. Damian Black.
Okay, would you like to put the facts onto the record, or is that sufficient?
I probably should, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
Your Honor, in this matter, officers responded to a dispute call. When they arrived, the victim stated that a computer and a camera were missing from his room, and that only 2 roommates had access to his room while he was away at work. The officer questioned both roommates, and the defendant admitted to taking the victim's computer monitor and returned it while the officer was present. We were able to make contact with the victim. He confirmed the events in the warrant. He did state that he is still missing a camera, which is the other item, but has since left the residence and does not plan to return. That's why the state is not requesting a stay away order. I was told that the victim would not be on Zoom, but I'm always told to ask, Judge, so I'd like to sound for Mr. Damian Black.
Is Mr. Black present? All right, hearing and seeing none. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. We would like to request for a signature on bond through jail. My client is 62 years old, and she has been serving Fulton County as a deputy clerk for the Solicitor General office for 20 years. And she is retired.
Hold on 1 second, Ms. Kim. Please, whoever this is putting something in the chat, please do not. The chat is not a place for us to just be speaking about things. Please do not do that. All right, go ahead, Ms. Kim. I apologize.
No problem, Your Honor. She has an associate degree, and she Actually, Mr. Black owes a lot of money to my client, and that was actually in lieu of the payment. She was able to get that monitor or whatever that it was. It was not something to be stolen. So we would like to request for a signature on bond through jail. Thank
I'm
you.
so
All right.
sorry to interrupt, but you said she works where?
She worked at Fulton County Deputy Clerk, Fulton County as a Deputy Clerk.
Yeah, that sounds like a conflict. I mean, I'm just thinking out loud here, so I don't know. We need to set this case to the side. But I would like a moment because I
She
think you
works
said
at
she
the,
was-
wait, she works at the deputy clerk?
and then I
That's
believe you
right.
said Solicitor General's office. Is that what I heard you say?
Yes, that's what I
I mean,
heard.
I don't think that's true, but what you're
Can we,
alleging,
there's gotta be a way to check that.
right? And I was going to look into it, but before we went further, I didn't want us to be prosecuting a conflict case, if you will. So
Well, what you're saying, Miss Kim has a conflict?
no,
Well, yeah, you all
defendant-
would. That's,
the
yeah,
defendant, I
yeah,
think
yeah.
you would, right?
Yeah. Okay, so
If
let's
it's
look up to
true,
see. Yeah, okay, agreed. Let's see if she works there.
I don't want to do anything improper. That's all.
No, I agree. I agree. I just,
Let me, if I could just, is it that she's
I
retired?
need this, I need this Friday to go a little more smoothly than it's starting off. If we could look into that quickly. What is, her name is Robin Pruitt. It could not be that hard to check this. So it's
Okay,
not-
I'm making one phone call. I just don't want to do anything.
Oh, Miss Grace says she was once an employee with us, but no longer, I'm assuming.
She retired.
Okay, so she,
She said she's retired.
Okay,
okay, well, if no longer employed,
I'll circle back if needed. I just don't want anything.
okay,
to be
so,
updated,
yeah,
that's all.
I agree, but I don't think she works here now, so I'm gonna assume that if there was at one time a conflict, it no longer exists. We're gonna give her the $500 SOB through the jail, $250 each count, no contact with Mr. Black. And no
you.
alcohol, drugs, or weapons, all right? And we are still gonna confirm that, please, Mr. Walker. Thank you. All right, for now, we'll move to the next case. Should we need to amend this, we'll let courtroom 2 know.
Position number 15.
Can we do Mr. Daniels' case, please?
Thank you, Judge.
What position is that? Do you have, Mr. Daniel?
Judge, I'm sorry. It will be a case that was on the calendar from from Wednesday, and then it got reset to yesterday, and now it's on for the day because the person got a
Okay,
sick.
what's the name? The name? So we
I got
can-
the case number. Eric Lewis is the name, Judge.
Okay,
Lewis?
Yes.
I believe he was scheduled to be released. No,
Lewis doesn't appear on this calendar, so I believe he should be released.
Yeah,
Yes,
he was scheduled to be released, Judge, but after the bond order was signed on Wednesday, it never made it to the judge's chambers. They signed one yesterday, but the case number was wrong. So the jail would not release him because they put the case number on his bond from another person who was
and I
already
believe
out.
it's been corrected today, and he should be released. We can confirm with the jail.
Okay, because I didn't, they said they would send me an order and I hadn't gotten the order back. So I was under the
Okay,
impression
there's not a lot I can do about that, that I can, if, it sounds to me like it's
Checking
been
right
fixed.
now, Your Honor. We're checking right now. We're checking.
Okay.
to see.
Mr. Jordan sent the order over, Judge. It's
Okay.
already been corrected and sent over to the jail.
Thank
That
you,
was
Ms.
my
Champion.
understanding as well. Thank
Okay. And is there any way I can get an email, a copy of that, or who do I need to email or contact to get it?
I don't know, I really don't know.
You can
And we
email
have a
Mr.
lot.
Michael Jordan.
And we have a very long calendar, Ms. Daniels. You'll have to forgive my need to speed us along, but this.
No, that's fine, Judge. He just
Okay.
been in all week on a bond, so I was just trying to make sure it didn't slip through the cracks again. But that's fine. Michael Jordan, I'm sorry. And Michael Jordan at Fulton County?
Hey, just check your chat. I sent you the number of the records department.
Okay, thank you, man. All right, appreciate it. And Yana, I'll come
All right,
back
thank
if I need something else, but thank you, Judge.
Please don't come back. Thank you. Have a good day. Take
Position
care.
number 15, Ms. Rowe.
Okay. If you have problems though, Mr. Daniels, please give somebody their call. I won't be able to assist you, but someone will, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, take care. All right, Ms. Rowe, your case is 23 CR 005075. Why? In this case, you're charged with simple battery. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard, can I have the history?
I got first arrest.
All right. Mr. Palan?
Yes, Your Honor. In this matter, officers responded, defendants and victims are co-workers and got into a verbal argument at work. Defendant struck a victim with a metal fry rack on the right side of her body. Our office called the victim but was not able to make contact. We're asking for a $1,000 surety bond, anger awareness, no further contact with Miss Natia Hatcher, and a stay away from the incident address, which is 120 Piedmont Avenue Northeast.
Okay, I am going to sound for Ms. Hatcher in the event she's here. Okay, hearing, seeing none. Ms. Kim?
Yes, my client is 26 years old and she was born in Washington, D.C. and she moved to Georgia about 8 years ago. And complaining witness and my client, they work together at fast food Checkers. They're both shift managers. My client has to work at Checkers as long as she's not fired from there. My client will not be qualified for public defender's services, so she will be hiring private attorney after this bond hearing, and my representation is limited to just for the purpose of bond hearing. She graduated from high school, and Your Honor, I think that we would like to request for signature on bond. This is her first offense, so.
All right. Defendant's gonna receive $1,000 surety bond. She is to not have any contact with the alleged victim and stay away from that location if she's not employed there. Additionally, she's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons as a condition. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor,
Oh.
I would just point out there may be a difficulty in that the victim also works there. So I don't know how that's going to work.
Well, they're gonna have to figure that out. That she's to have no contact with the victim while she's there.
Okay,
All right.
thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, who do we have next?
Position number 16, Ms. Thomas.
All right, Ms. Thomas, your case is 23 CR 005063G, in which defendant is charged with affray. Do you understand your rights today,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Howard?
First.
All right, thank you. And this is Mr. Jones's case. Mr. Jones, you're muted if you are speaking.
I am. I'm sorry. Yes, Your Honor. So this incident took place on August 17th of 2022. Officers were dispatched to a fight call at 160 Ponce de Leon Avenue. Upon arrivals, all three parties were detained. So this is a co-defendant case. So there are three co-defendants on this. Through investigations, officer learned that Ms. Thomas, Mr. Pittman, and Mr. Dawson were all engaged in mutual combat. The video footage shows all three parties started throwing punches and hitting one another at the same time on the corner of Piedmont Ave and Ponce de Leon Ave. Therefore, the state's recommendation is going to be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial services, stay away from 160 Ponce de Leon Avenue, and no further contact with Mr. Mario Dawson or Chase Pittman.
Okay, I'm inclined to grant that request. Ms. McLeod, I'm assuming you have no objection?
I have no objection to the signature bond, Your Honor, but I do have an objection to no further contact with Mr. Pittman. Mr. Pittman is my client's boyfriend. The other person is someone they don't really know.
Okay, I'm gonna order no further contact at this time. All right? And that can be revisited at a later date.
Yes, Your Honor, and I would also like to raise the issue, Your Honor. Mr. Pittman actually spoke with me. I know that the I received an email saying that he needed a separate conflict attorney. I don't believe that one was found for him, but it seems to me that just based on my conversation with my own client, that the facts are the same concerning them and they are in a relationship. And what she told me was that they were attacked by this third person who was arrested. So I am of the opinion that I actually could represent them both. But anyway, he did tell me that he wanted to waive his appearance. So I just wanted to put that out there. And wanted the court to consider bond for him.
I will.
I don't believe
whether or not he has a conflict offender or not.
I don't believe another conflict attorney was found for him.
All right. Okay.
Can you repeat
Understood.
the Thomas bond, please?
I'm sorry.
Can you repeat the bond, please?
It's a $2,000 SOB through pretrial services.
Appreciate you. Position number 1, Mr. Beckman.
Sorry, Judge, any other conditions? I didn't get.
We asked for a stay away from 160 Ponce de Leon Avenue and no further contact with the co-defendants, Chase Pittman and Mario Dawson.
Thank you.
Your Honor, that concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Take care, Ms. McLeod.
Thank
All right.
you.
Can we do the other co-defendant cases now since we have those facts? Is that possible?
Do you want to do the one that's waived or
The one is waived. What's the, we won't have to do the waived person, but who is the other individual? Is that person there?
Dawson? Yes, ma'am. He is. So, yes, sir. That's position number 4, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Dawson, your case is 23 CR 005061G, in which you're charged with a fray. You understand, right?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard, can I have that history too? Mr. Howard?
My bad, I was just talking. 19
sorry.
total, August 2022 obstruction, disorderly conduct. He got an open case for criminal trust, damage to property, simple battery. 2022 disorderly conduct conviction, 2021 battery on a public transit vehicle, theft by taking, he pled NOLO. He got a 2017 ag assault family violence conviction. And a 2014, 2 counts of ag battery, 1 count possession of a firearm during the commission conviction. He got more, but I stopped.
That's it. That's sufficient. Mrs. Jones?
Yes, Your Honor. So the facts are the same. And the state's recommendation here is going to be a $750 surety bond, stay away from 160 Ponce de Leon Avenue, and no further contact with Brianna Thomas or Chase Pittman.
All right. And this is Miss, who represents this defendant?
I do, Your Honor. Ms. Cook.
All right, Ms. Cook, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Dawson is 39 years old, been in Georgia most of his life. He's completed highest level of education, 9th grade, currently on a fixed income. He receives Social Security. It is our position that Mr. Dawson was acting in self-defense. Your Honor, he does not know and not familiar with the other 2 parties who were also arrested in this incident. He is absolutely fine with no contact because of his, he does qualify for our services, and because of his limited means of income, Your Honor, we would be asking for some type of signature bond or unsecured judicial release. It's my understanding that he does not have a problem with reporting to court. I mean, I understand that he does have a history, but he does show up. And the purpose of bond is to ensure that he does show up for future appearances. He is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. So again, we will assert that he was acting in self-defense. We are asking the court for some sort of signature on bond. Thank you.
All right, defendant will receive a $500 surety bond. He's to have no contact with any of the cross defendants and stay away from that location on Ponce. Additionally, have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons as a condition. Is there anything further?
Your Honor, just so because I've seen some bond orders that does not check this, to make sure that he doesn't reoffend or violate any future Georgia laws while out on bond as well.
I think that's implied, but okay.
Okay. Oh, I just want to make sure if something happens as we go up, then.
I would hope so, but all right. I think that's standard on most forms.
Okay.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case at this time. Who do we have next?
Position 5.
All right, is this the interpretation case?
Yes.
Is the interpreter on the line? No interpreter is present yet, so we
Not at
can't,
this time, Your Honor, no.
yeah, so we can't do position 5.
Position number 1, Mr. Beckman?
Did you say 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Beckham, your case is 23 CR 005059G. You're charged with purchasing alcohol below the legal age to do so and theft by taking. You understand your rights?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Jones?
Yes, Your Honor. So he does have an arrest for marijuana possession.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Mr. Howard, what's the history?
Who we
Not
on?
my day.
Take a phone call.
Position 1.
Beckham, second arrest. His last arrest was, well, his only other arrest was 2014 for marijuana possession.
Okay.
Just recommend.
Okay. All right, Mr. Jones, please proceed. I'm sorry.
Yes, Your Honor. So this incident took place on August 17th, in which the defendant was employed by a fan favorite vending company at 2002 Lakewood Way for the 50 Cent concert. While working at a cashless venue, the defendant took cash, $40 as a payment for 2 Bud Light cans. He then made the decision to pocket $35 and gave the customer $5 in change. What the defendant did not know was that the individual he sold the Bud Light to was an undercover employee, and the defendant failed to ID the individual to make sure he was of legal drinking age, and he took the remaining $35 pocket. Therefore, the state is asking for a $2,500 surety bond. It will be $1,500 on the furnishing, purchasing, and possession of alcohol beverages to someone under 21, and $1,000 on the theft by taking. Stay away from 2002 Lakewood Way, and no further contact with any of fan favorite vending employees.
All right, Ms. Cook, in light of the circumstances and situation and information before me, I'm inclined to give this defendant a signature bond through pretrial. Do you have any objection or anything additional you'd like to add at this time?
No, Your Honor, we've been agreeing.
All right. All right, defendant will receive a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial, $1,500 count 1, $1,000 count 2. He's to have no contact with any of the fan favor. I'm sorry, what was it? What was the name of the place again?
Fan favorite vending company.
Okay, no contact with anyone who works there, and stay away from that incident location. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons of any kind as a condition of that signature bond through pretrial. Is there anything further?
Your Honor, yes, if I may, he has been employed there 9 years. I don't know if there's any pending or outstanding payments or checks that he needs to get. So outside of that, we would just
Other than getting his last check, which I'm assuming someone can mail him, he's to have no contact. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Mr. Chief, position number 2.
I'm sorry, the line cut out. Did you say position 2?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Cheese.
All right, Mr. Cheese. Your case is 23 CR 005060A. You're charged with simple battery, family violence, and criminal trespass with the offense of May 10th, offense date of May 10th. Do you understand your rights? Yes, is that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Mr. Howard?
11 total. Last arrest was August 2023 out of Clayton County. Simple battery, family violence. He on probation, 7 counts of ag assault, possession of a firearm in commission, theft by receiving. He got FTA from 2019 and a few probation violations from 2020, 2019.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jones?
Yes, Your Honor. So on May 10th, 2023, officers responded to 3901 Campbellton Road to a dispute call. Upon arrivals, officers met with the victim, Ms. Kiana Davis, who advised officers that she had recently been arrested for a domestic violence with the defendant, and they agreed they would work things out and not call the police. However, as Ms. Davis tried to leave the location, the defendant would not let her. Standing next to her vehicle, the defendant ran and punched her in the head, then proceeded to smash her front windshield. Ms. Davis did provide officers with cell phone videos of the incident, and officers observed the damaged windshield. Our victim witness advocate did have an opportunity to speak with Ms. Davis today, in which she said that her and the defendant are in a relationship. They live together. They share no children. She did deny the events in the warrant. She stated that the defendant never hit her and the windshield on her car was already cracked prior to this incident, and the defendant just touched it, which caused it to crack more. Victim, as I stated, they have a previous open case that's 23 CR 002527J, in which the victim was ordered to have no contact with the defendant and to stay away from this particular address. On April 25th of 2023, the victim stated that they have been living together since this incident. I did see her on the Zoom earlier. I'm not for sure if she's still on, but if the court can sound for her at the appropriate time.
All right, Ms. Davis, are you present and wish to make a statement?
Yes, I'm here.
You need to turn on your camera, raise your right hand. Okay, Ms. Davis, can you lift the camera slightly so we can actually see you and not down your shirt? Thank you. All right. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right. I am not sentencing Mr. Cheese today, so I'm not concerned with your rendition of the facts as you believe or if you disagree with what Mr. Jones said necessarily. What I'm most concerned with is whether you have fear of the defendant or if you wish to have contact with him. In light of those instructions, what would you like to tell me?
I never stated that he punched me in my face. The video that they seen my phone go down.
Wait a second. Again, what I'm most concerned with is if you have concerns for your safety. And
I don't. Oh no, I didn't understand. I'm sorry. No, I don't have concerns.
Okay. What else would you like to tell me? Again, you're under oath, and I don't want you to inadvertently say something that may get used against Mr. Cheese. So you can continue, but remember, anything you say, the state is listening. What would you like to tell me?
I never stated that he punched me in my face. The video that I showed the phone go down. It didn't show him punching me in my face or not, but I told him that when he hit my window, he tapped my window, he cracked it, but it was already cracked from a rock hitting my window off a truck. But I did not state that he hit me at all.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Davis. I appreciate you coming to court and making that statement. Yes, Mr. Jones.
Can I ask the witness maybe just 3 questions really quick?
If you really believe that is absolutely necessary, please go ahead very quickly.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Davis, can you confirm that you and the defendant do indeed stay together?
Yes, we do.
All right. No further questions, Your Honor. Your Honor, based off of that, per the order that's in Judge Betson's courtroom, they are not allowed to have contact. The victim just confirmed that
the court is very much aware. But go ahead, that they're in violation of that order.
So the state's bond recommendation is going to be a $4,000 surety bond, no further contact with Ms. Davis, and to stay away from that particular address, 3901 Campbellton Road, unless the defendant can show that his name is on the lease and that he's the owner of that particular property.
All right. Ms. Cook?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Mr. Cheese is 24 years old. Most of his dad's family is from the area. He does have another address in which he can reside. That would be with his mom in Fulton County. His highest level of education is 11th grade, Your Honor. He is currently not employed, but previously he worked at landscaping and then other fast food restaurants. In December of 2022, he was hit by an 18-wheeler, Your Honor, and so that left him not able to work. He does, I understand that he does have a criminal history, but these allegations against him today are just simply unsubstantiated, Your Honor, and he is presumed innocent unless until he's proven guilty. And I do want to just point out the case that in which the state is referencing. He is the alleged victim in that case. Therefore, there is no order over him until whenever you decide as it related to her. The order would have been against Ms. Davis for him. So he would therefore not have been in violation of anything. It is also my understanding, as I just stated, that the simple battery family violence, as you just heard from the victim, is unsubstantiated for that reason, Your Honor. And he does not have a lot of money since he has not been working. He's receiving unemployment benefits. We would be asking for a signature on bond. Outside of that, Your Honor, we would be asking for a bond of no more than $1,000 surety.
All right, defendant will receive a $4,000 surety bond, 3,000 count one, 1,000 count two. He's to have no contact with Ms. Davis and stay away from that incident location. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons as a condition. Is there anything further? All right, hearing none, best of luck to you all. And who do we have next?
Position number 6, Mr. Greer.
All right, Mr. Greer, your case is 23 CR 005064E. In this case, you're charged with criminal trespass. You understand your rights? All right, I'll assume that's a yes. Mr. Howard?
11 total. Last was back in October, failure to appear. On probation for burglary in the first degree. 2021 FTA probation, 2021 simple battery no low, and a 2019 FTA.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jones?
Yes, Your Honor. On August 16th of 2023, officers was dispatched to 2470 Cheshire Bridge Road to an armed person's call. Security saw the defendant, Mr. Greer, walk into the property near the dumpster and they asked him to leave. That's when Mr. Greer proceeded to reach inside of the dumpster and grab a baseball bat. He was later found in the leasing office arguing with a staff member about how he had submitted a lease. When checking Atlanta police records, Mr. Greer had been given a warning and a not to return to the property since August 11th of 2023, which is just 7 days shy ago for breaking into apartment 1229. The state's bond recommendation is going to be a $600 surety bond, stay away from 2470 Cheshire Bridge Road, and no further contact with any employee of that apartment.
I'm sorry, what was the name of the company? Do we know?
It's going to be Helios, HELIOS apartment.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Cook?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Greer is 29 years old. He's lived in Georgia all of his life, currently resides with his mom. He graduated from Luella High School in 2010. He had some college at Morehouse where he studied business administration. He is okay with a stay away, Your Honor. We would just be asking for a reasonable bond, as is my understanding that he is employed with Best Version Media as an assistant publisher. Your Honor, so we'll just be asking for a reasonable bond. It looks as if the bond on this case was already set for a $600, and it's already been set as a $600 surety bond. And I don't know if he received a bond on his other criminal trespass, damage to property, second degree. So that may be what's holding to me. Nothing further.
All right, I'm sorry, Ms. Cook, are you saying that there are other charges that have not been addressed?
Yes, but I believe it would have been addressed, at least from what I see, it would have been addressed. It's a pending felony charge, so it wouldn't be addressed here.
Okay, understood. All right, defendant will receive a $500 surety bond. He is to stay away from that location and have no contact with any of the employees of the Helios apartment complex. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Is there anything further?
No.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Greer.
Position number 7, Mr. Guest.
All right, Mr. Guest, your case is 23 CR 005065J. In this case, you're charged with 2 counts of criminal trespass. You understand your rights?
That is correct.
You do understand your rights?
You said my rights?
You understand your rights today? You have a right to remain silent and a right to an attorney. Do you understand that?
That's correct.
All right, wonderful. Mr. Howard, please proceed.
6 total. He got 2 open trespasses in state court. 2022 theft by taking conviction, 2021 fade to appeal.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jones.
Yes, Your Honor. On August 17th of 2023, police officers responded to 4255 Will Lee Street in reference to a suspicious person. Upon arrival, officers made contact with Mr. Bashir, and Mr. Bashir informed officers that he observed the defendant on the property after being criminally trespassed from the concession stand on April 13th of 2023 and May 23rd of 2023. Those are the two open criminal trespass cases. They're all from the same location, which is Welcome All Park. The defendant told officers that he left some items in the park and that he understood that he was not to return to the park. So, Your Honor, for those reasons, we are going to ask for a $2,000 surety bond, $1,000 on each count, and a stay away from 4255 Will Lee Street, which is the Welcome All Park.
Okay. Ms. Cook, I'm inclined to grant your client a signature bond in light of the information before me with a stay away from that location. Do you have any objection or anything additional you'd like to add?
I do not have any objections, Your Honor. I do want to say on the prior to criminal trespass cases, both orders do say he was allowed, or he would be allowed a one-time escort to get his property. He still has not retrieved his property, and I believe that may be the reason why he was there, but no objection to the signature bond.
All right, defendant will receive a $2,000 SOB through the jail, $1,000 each count. He's to absolutely stay away from that location. We're gonna assume that he has now retrieved those items. Additionally, he's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Is there anything further?
According to my client, Your Honor, he has not, but I hope you understand, Mr. Guest, just don't go back, okay?
I believe those items are now awash. Don't go back to that part. All right? Best of luck to you, sir, Mr. Guest. All right, who do we have next?
Position number 8, Mr. Haywood.
All right, Mr. Haywood, your case is 23 CR 005066F. In this case, you're charged with simple battery. You understand your rights?
Ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
15 total. Last arrest was 2011, probation violation.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jones?
Yes, Your Honor. So this incident took place on August 17, 2023 at 12:30 p.m. Officers responded to 1489 Campbellton Road in reference to a dispute call. Upon arrivals, officers were relocated to 1350 Campbellton Road, which is where Mr. Haywood was located. He was then taken back to the scene where the victim, Mr. Jeffrey Miller, advised officers that he had been attacked by the defendant. Officers did watch the video surveillance that showed Mr. Hayward attacking Mr. Miller and Mr. Miller falling to the ground, hitting his head. Mr. Hayward was then seen standing over him. Your Honor, for those reasons, we asked for a $3,500 surety bond, no further contact with Mr. Jeffrey Miller, and to stay away from 1489 Campbellton Road. And if Your Honor can sound for the victim at the appropriate time. Thank you.
Is Mr. Miller present? All right, hearing and seeing none. Ms. Cook?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Haywood is 57 years old, been a lifelong resident of Georgia. He is a high school graduate. He's self-employed. He reports to be self-employed where he does painting and construction, has done that for about the last 10 years. He lives with his sister. As you heard from pretrial, his last arrest was more than 12 years ago. We would be asking the court for a signature bond. He has not been in trouble for quite some time. This seems to be some sort of isolated incident. He does qualify for our services. So his income is not so much that a short of bond would be something that he'd actually be able to afford. It actually would equate to no bond for him. So we are asking the court for either a signature bond through jail or through pretrial services. Thank you.
All right, defendant will receive a $1,000 surety bond. He's to have no contact with Mr. Miller and stay away from that location on Campbellton Road. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Is there anything further? All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Haywood. Who do we have next?
Position number 9, Mr. Johnson, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson, your case is 23 CR 5067H. You're charged in this case with failure to yield right of way and driving with an expired decal and having no insurance. You understand your rights today?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard, can I have that history, please?
Second arrest, 2019 DUI, not prosecuted. The
Okay.
recommendation was SOB jail.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jones?
Yes, Your Honor. So on July 18th of 2023 at 2216, Georgia Tech police responded to a car accident where the victim, Naya Pickney, advised officers that she was driving her mother's Hyundai Elantra and was struck by a red in color Cadillac. The owner of the Cadillac did pull over initially and wanted to simply exchange information. However, Ms. Pickney's mother did not want to handle it that way, and an argument ensued, and the owner of the Cadillac left. Officers observed cameras in the area which captured the tag number and the actual accident, Your Honor. That led them back to a Michigan plate, which was run through and returned to the defendant. The state's recommendation is going to be a $1,500 surety bond, which is $500 per count, and a no further contact with the victim, Miss Naya Pickney.
All right, I'm gonna sound for Miss Pickney just to make sure she's not here. Okay, in light of information before me, Ms. Cook, I'm inclined to give your client and signature bond as recommended by pretrial. Do you have any objections or anything you'd like to add?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, defendant is gonna receive a $1,500 signature bond through the jail, $500 each count. He's not to drive unless he has a valid decal for his vehicle and insurance. And additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Is there anything further? All right.
Nothing.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Position number 10, Mr. McMullen.
All right, Mr. McMullen, your case is 23 CR 005068B. In this case, you're charged with simple battery. You understand your rights?
Say it again.
You understand your rights?
Yeah, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
19 total. Last arrest was 2022 obstruction, conviction not a cop. 2020 probation, 2018 simple battery against police conviction, 2018 terrorist threats conviction, 2017 battery DV NOLO, and a 2012 battery conviction.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jones?
Yes, Your Honor. On August 17th of 2023, officers were dispatched at 3460 Kingsborough Road to a dispute call. While en route, officers were advised that the suspect was wearing a white shirt and blue jean shorts. Upon arrival, officers met with employees of the apartment complex who pointed directly to the male matching the description and stated that he slapped the property manager in the face. The defendant told officers he was in the hallway charging his phone when a woman came out of nowhere telling him to leave. That woman was the property manager, Miss Kimberly Curtis, and he told officers he did in fact slap the property manager because she was irritating him. Our victim's witness advocate did have the opportunity to speak with the victim, and she stated that the defendant was in the hallway yelling and making uncomfortable comments to residents. The victim stated that she went to the defendant to ask him to leave, and the defendant slapped her in the face, causing a welt on her face. The victim stated she also lives at this apartment complex. She stated that she wants no contact with the defendant and wants him to stay away from the residents. And I heard that she wasn't going to be on, but if we could just sound for her just to ensure. Therefore, the state's bond recommendation is given the defendant's violent history. The bond recommendation is a $4,500 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, Ms. Kimberly Curtis, and a stay away from 3460 Kingsborough Road.
Okay, is Ms. Curtis here? And do we have any news on the interpretation by any chance, Ms. Champion?
No, ma'am, I had emailed her to see what time she was going to log in, but she hasn't responded.
Okay, thank you for your efforts. All right, we'll continue. Ms. Cook, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. McMullen is 32 years old. It's my understanding he's been in Georgia most of his life. His highest level of education completed is 8th grade, Your Honor. I do understand that he has a significant history. there wasn't much more I was able to get from Mr. McMillan. I do know that currently he is not employed, doesn't have any income coming in. So honestly, any bond given to him would be the equivalent of no bond at all. I will get him in contact or get a search work order in contact with him because there may be some concerns here. But other than that, Your Honor, we will be asking for you to grant a reasonable bond on this case.
All right, defendant will receive a $2,000 surety bond. He's to have no contact with the alleged victim and stay away from that location on Kingsborough Road. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons as a condition. And as a reminder to all parties, he'll be reset to state all purpose. I believe, what was it, the 31st? All right, thank you, and best of luck to you, sir. What do we have next?
Position number 12, Your Honor, Mr. Peck.
Okay. I'm sorry, position, you said 12?
That's correct, Your Honor. Position number 12, Mr. Peck. 11 and
I have 12
okay, I'm
as
sorry, I apologize.
Pittman.
11. I apologize. Number 11, position number 11.
Okay, all right, thank you. Mr. Peck, your case is 23 CR 005079C. You're charged with possession and use of drug-related objects and theft by taking. You understand your rights? Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Please don't delay this any more than we have to. Mr. Howard, please proceed.
I'm sorry, 14 total. Last arrest was last month for shoplifting. 2023 failure to appear, resisting without violence conviction. 2018 grand theft conviction. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Whose case is this for the state? Is it Mr. Jones, Mr. Pallon, someone, please?
Your Honor, it's position 12, correct?
No, we're on 11.
I apologize, Your Honor, that is the case.
All right, please proceed then.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, in this matter, officers responded to theft at the above location listed in the warrant, which is a gas station. The victim advised that he set his phone down on a can of soda, I guess, came back to get his phone and the phone was gone. Security footage showed the defendant come in, pick up the phone and immediately exit the building. The officer was actually on a traffic stop 10 minutes immediately prior to this incident and interacted with the same defendant. So he returned to the location of the traffic stop. Defendant was still there. Defendant admitted to taking the phone and said that he was attempting to return the phone, but the officer noted that the video footage that he viewed at the store controverted the defendant's story. Your Honor, the defendant has significantly more history in Florida than he does here. I show criminal records indicating that he's been here for like 2 months. So we're concerned about the flight risk. We're asking for a $2,000 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, and stay away from the incident address. Victim's name is Jose Solis. I'd like to sound for him.
All right, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to say that for me one more time. What's the name of the victim, Mr. Pallon?
Jose Solis.
All right, I'm sounding for Mrs. Solis at this time. If you're present. Oh, Ms. Chancey is here. Good. We can do that one next. Is Mr. Solis present? All right, hearing and seeing none, Ms. Kim, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 34 years old. As ASG Palin said, he has been here in Georgia for about 1 or 2 months. He is residing at hotel, and he actually got a job offer at the hotel that he has been staying as a maintenance worker. So he wants to return to that location. He graduated from high school, and Your Honor, we would like to request for signature on bond. That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Kim. At this time, the defendant is going to receive a $2,000 split bond, 1,000 surety count 1, 1,000 SOB through the jail count 2. He's to stay away from that location and have no contact with the alleged victim in this case. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Is there anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Chancey, I'm sorry, I always do this. Madam Interpreter, please state your name for the record.
My name is Adriana Chancey.
Ms. Chancey, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm that the testimony you give today, do you swear and affirm that the translation you made today from English to Spanish, Spanish to English will be done to the best of your skill, knowledge, and ability?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right, thank you, Ms. Chancey.
Yeah.
Are we able to take the interpretation position now?
Yes, we are, Your Honor. Position number 5, Mr. Gonzalez.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Gonzalez.
Buenas tardes, señor González.
Your case is 23 CR 005072A.
El número de su caso es 23 CR 005072A.
In this case, you're charged with battery, family violence, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, 2 counts.
Usted tiene un cargo por golpes y lesiones, violencia familiar y por crueldad ante un menor en el 3er grado.
You have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Usted tiene el derecho a guardar silencio. Todo lo que diga puede y será usado en su contra.
You have a right to an attorney.
Tiene derecho a ser representado por un abogado.
And Miss Christina Champagne is here and present to represent you.
Y la señorita Cristina Champagne está aquí para representarlo.
As you can see, I'm conducting this proceeding over the internet.
Como ve, estoy llevando a cabo esta audiencia en la internet.
It is also being recorded.
También está siendo grabada.
That means any member of the public can log on and watch this.
Lo que quiere decir es que todo miembro del público puede entrar en la plataforma y observar esta audiencia.
Do you understand your rights and how I'm conducting the hearing today?
¿Usted entiende sus derechos y cómo estoy conduciendo esta audiencia hoy?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Howard, can I please have Mr. Gonzalez Perez?
Second arrest, 2019, driving without a valid license.
Este es el segundo arresto. En 2019 tuvo un cargo de manejar sin licencia.
All right. Mr. Palan, if you give us your recommendation.
Señor Pelón,
And
¿se
the
nos puede
facts.
dar la recomendación?
Yes, I'm sorry, Your Honor. You said I could do facts first?
However you wish, just please proceed with something.
I will. Your Honor, in this matter, officers were dispatched to a domestic call.
Los oficiales, en este caso, su señoría, fueron enviados para una disputa doméstica.
The victim and the defendant are parents of the same children and live in the same household.
El acusado y la víctima son los padres de los mismos hijos y viven en la misma casa.
Victim claimed the defendant choked her in front of the 2 children.
La víctima reclama que el acusado la trató de ahorcar en frente de los menores.
Officers observed marks to the victim's neck.
Y los oficiales observaron marcas en el cuello de la víctima.
Victim's friend helped keep the 2 parties separate until law enforcement arrived.
Y la amiga o amigo de la víctima trató de mantenerlos separados hasta que los oficiales llegaron.
We were able to contact the victim and she confirmed the events as stated in the warrant.
Nosotros contactamos a la víctima y ella pudo confirmar todos los eventos como están establecidos en la orden de arresto.
The victim stated she would like contact, but the state is concerned about the risk of reoffense.
La víctima quiere mantener contacto con el acusado, pero la fiscalía le preocupa esta situación.
Due to the date of the arrest and the date that the defendant appeared in municipal court, we are required to consent to a signature bond on this case.
Debido a la fecha de arresto y a la fecha de comparecencia en el tribunal municipal, tenemos el requisito de pedir una fianza bajo firma.
The state is requesting a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial services.
Y la fiscalía solicita una fianza de $4,000 a través de la Oficina de Servicios Previos al Juicio.
No further contact with Miss Janet Salazar.
Y que no tenga más contacto alguno con la señora Janet Salazar.
And a stay away from the incident location.
Y que se mantenga alejado del lugar en donde ocurrió el incidente.
Nothing further.
All right, I'm gonna I'm gonna sound at this time. I'm sorry, what's the last name of the victim?
Salazar.
Salazar.
She's present,
Uh,
Your Honor, as
Okay,
Jeanette on the
I
video.
saw, yeah, I
Ella
saw
está
her.
presente.
Miss Chancey, will you sound for Miss Salazar?
Señora Janet Salazar, por favor, ¿puede avisarnos a dónde está y prender su micrófono?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
All right, if you'd like to make a statement, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
I do.
All right, and as I've stated earlier, you can put your hand down. I'm not sentencing the defendant today, but I will hear a brief statement from you. And what the court is most concerned with is any concerns for your safety and your desires to have contact. In light of those instructions, what would you like to tell me?
I am not concerned for my safety. He is my husband. We have been legally married for 3 years, living together for 5. Nothing like this had ever happened before. He's never been in trouble with the law like this before. He's a good dad, a good husband, a good person. Unfortunately, sometimes these things happen. We had both been drinking that for that time. I would love if he could come back with our family. Like I said, he's never been in trouble with law before. Nothing like this had ever happened before. If there's anything you could do to help him come back to our family and forgive him, we would appreciate it.
All right, Ms. Champagne, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. As the state mentioned, this is, or I guess as Mr. Howard mentioned, this is Mr. Gonzalez Perez's first arrest of this type. He does have a prior driving offense, but I don't think that weighs too heavily on what we're here before the court for today. As his wife mentioned, she is not afraid of him, not concerned for their safety. She does want him to come home. With that regard, we do oppose the state's position as far as not allowing my client to come home. The bond amount, we have no objection to, Your Honor, just we would ask that he be permitted to have contact with Ms. Salazar as well as return back to the marital residence where the incident occurred.
All right. Defendant will receive a $4,000 SOB through pretrial, $3,000 count 1, 1,000. I'm sorry, that math does not jive. Let's make it a $5,000 SOB through pretrial, 3,000 count 1 and 1,000 for each count of cruelty. He's to have no further violent contact with the alleged victim and have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Is there anything further?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. Best of luck to all parties.
Oh, Your Honor, I'm sorry. Can Ms. Chancey translate the terms of the bond for my client?
Oh, all right, please. I was intending for her to. Please go ahead, Ms. Chancey.
Your Honor, is you said 3,000 for the first charge and 1,000 for the other 3?
Yes.
Okay. Señora, señor, la multa es de 3,000 y después $1,000 por los otros 2 cargos. No puede tener contacto violento con la víctima y no queda prohibido el uso de drogas, alcohol y armas mientras usted esté bajo fianza.
Yeah, that's the other 2, correct? Because mine only shows 3 charges altogether.
I'm sorry, I understand the question.
She said you said.
¿Puede decirlo en español? Oh, I'm sorry.
He said, I'm sorry. She said 3,000 for battery and then 1,000 for each charge of cruelty to children. Correct?
Yes, for a total of 5. That's correct.
I'll just make sure.
O sea, el total sería de $5,000. And I'm sorry, Your Honor, what type of bond is this?
Signature bond through pretrial.
Okay. Esto es una fianza bajo firma o no monetaria.
Per judge.
De parte de la juez.
All right. Is there anything further from anybody?
¿Algo más?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
No sucede.
All right. Ms. Champagne, does that conclude your business?
It does. May I be excused, Judge?
Yes, you may. Take care. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Chancey,
You
before Ms. Chancey, before you depart, will you please sound?
Yes, Your Honor. ¿Hay alguien que necesite hablar con la señora jueza y necesite ser interpretado? Por favor, prenda su cámara y avísenos.
All right, hearing none. Thank you, Ms. Chancey. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
All right, who do we have next?
Position number 14, Mr. Riley.
All right, Mr. Riley, your case is 23 CR 005074Y. And you're charged with criminal trespass. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Howard.
53 total. Last was 2019 trespass obstruction. 2017 disorderly conduct conviction. He got probation violations in his history and theft and more obstruction.
Okay, understood. Thank you. Let me see, Mr. Palan, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. In this matter, officer was working an extra job at the store location, which is the incident location. The defendant was previously trespassed from that location and showed up at that location. So officer arrested. State is concerned about reoffense given the arrest history and the failure to appear risk that he has 7 probation violations in the last 10 years. So we're asking for a $500 surety bond and a stay away order from the incident location.
What is the incident location?
The incident location, Your Honor, is 120 Piedmont Avenue Northeast, and that's a racetrack gas station.
Okay. All right, thank you. And he had a previous criminal trespass warning from that location.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Kim, in light of the information before me, I'm going to give the defendant a signature bond to the jail. Do you have any objection or is there
No
anything
objection.
else you'd like to add? Okay.
Nothing.
Defendant will receive a $5,000 SOB through the jail, and he is absolutely to not return to that racetrack gas station under any circumstances. Sir, do not go back there. They do not want you back, and the next judge may not be as lenient as me. I'm giving you another opportunity to do the right thing. All right. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Best of luck to you. All right, who do we have next?
Position number 17, Mr. Tomlin.
Mr. Tomlin, your case is 23 CR 005078F. In this case, you are charged with shoplifting. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Howard, can I have that history, please?
Last arrest was 2020, battery, simple battery out of New Orleans. 2017 theft of a motor vehicle conviction. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Palan.
Your Honor, my record also reflected a 2020 battery DV, impeding breath, and criminal damage out of Louisiana.
I'm sorry, impeding what?
Impeding breath. It sounded like our equivalent of a strangulation charge. It
Oh,
wasn't-
okay. That's a new one. Never heard that one. Okay.
Yeah, I
Thank
had
you.
it here. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
In this, officers also responded to a theft call at a different racetrack, Your Honor. Employees stated the defendant went behind the counter, stole lottery tickets worth $500, and showed officer security footage showing the same. So, Judge, we're asking for a $1,500 surety bond and a stay away from the incident location. That's 2645 Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta.
And I'm sorry, you said it was a racetrack?
That's correct.
All right. Ms. Kim, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 25 years old, Your Honor. He's gainfully employed at 2 different jobs, groundkeeping, and also he does apartment maintenance, and he also works as a security guard. He graduated from high school, Your Honor, and we would like to request for his signature on bond. This is his first theft-related case. So we would like to request for a signature on bond. Thanks.
All right. I would just like to contest that last bit. There was a 2017 arrest in Florida. It was notated adjudication withheld, which typically they put dismissed, which leads me to believe the defendant probably did some kind of pretrial diversion program. That was a grand theft auto charge.
Well,
So this is
yeah,
not the
I
first
heard that there was a theft of motor. All right, defendant will receive a $1,000 surety bond. He's to stay away from that racetrack gas station on Old Milton Parkway and have absolutely no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition. Is there anything further?
Nothing further. Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case at this time. Who do we have next?
Position number 19, I believe, Mr. Vaughn.
Okay. Mr. Vaughn, your case is 23 CR 005076D. In this case, you're charged with simple battery, family violence. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Howard, can I have his history, please?
Vaughn, first adult arrest.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Palan?
Yes, Your Honor. Officers were dispatched to a fight call. The defendant and the victim are parents of the same child. Defendant and victim were in an argument, and the defendant tackled the victim against the wall. Victim ran to another room, and defendant then grabbed her and held her down to the ground. The 7-year-old daughter witnessed the entire event and is actually the person who called 911. When we contacted the victim, she confirmed the events in the warrant. It stated that there have been incidents in the past, but this is the first time that she's called police. And I was told that she would be on Zoom. Your Honor, I'll also note that the defendant made 9 calls to the victim while he's been in jail. I'd like to sound for the victim. Her name is Miss Stephanie Simpson. I should give you my recommendation first, Your Honor. It's a $2,500 surety bond, no further contact with Miss Stephanie Simpson, and a stay away from the incident location, which is 260 Elm Street Northwest.
All right, thank you, Mr. Palan. And I'm sorry, it was Stephanie, what was the last name?
Miss
All right,
Simpson.
Ms. Simpson, I see a Stephanie S. If you would like to make a statement, I'll need you to turn on your camera, raise your right hand. All right, do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury? We can't hear you. And we continue to be unable to hear you. Why don't you log out and then log back in? In the meantime, we'll let Ms. Kim proceed. And if there's a need to cross or revisit, we'll allow that. Ms. Kim, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 37 years old, and Your Honor, he is gainfully employed at Georgia Congress Center as a trade show specialist. He's been doing that about 5 years, and he has been here in Georgia for the last 5 years. He graduated from high school, and they are engaged right now, and they have a child together. The place is actually in his name, and my client wants to continue to have a contact with Ms. Stephanie Simpson. So we would like to request for a signature on bond. This is his first offense ever, first arrest ever. We would like to request for a signature on bond and no further violent contact and third-party transfer for the children. Thank you.
All right, was Ms. Simpson able to figure that out? Let's give her a very brief moment. Ms. Champion, did we see her in the waiting room?
She just logged back on.
All right. All right, Ms. Simpson, please proceed. We still can't hear you.
Your Honor, just in the interest of candor, I can read more detailed the notes that our victim witness advocate took.
I would prefer
Can you
that we
hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Please, you swear in, raise your right hand. Do you swear in a firm testimony you give today be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, I do.
All right, put your hand down. Again, I am not sentencing the defendant today. I'm most concerned with any concerns you have for your safety and your desires for contact, but you can make a brief statement. What would you like to tell me?
I'd like to say that it's my desire for the charges to be dropped. I live with Mr. Vaughn. I've known him for 11 years. We have a child together, a 7-year-old child. In all of our years together, we've never had any event this severe happen. So I'm not concerned that this is going to happen in the future. This is the worst thing that's ever happened between us. And like I said, nothing like this has happened before. So I am comfortable with contact between us, and I would like for him to return to the home.
Okay. All right. Is there anything further or any response, Mr. Palan or Ms. Kim?
No, Your Honor.
All right. At this time, defendant will receive a $2,500 surety bond. He's to have no further violent contact with the alleged victim. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Is there anything further?
No, Your
No, Your
Honor.
Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case at this time. Who do we have next?
Position number 20. Y'all, a question. Is that for both the simple battery and the cruelty to children?
I only have one charge, simple battery.
Cruelty charge was not on docket from our office, Your Honor. So that the jail should have received that.
Okay.
Sent out this morning.
Okay, so does that address that?
I didn't hear.
Apparently that charge is not on docket, so that shouldn't have any effect or should not be addressed, should not be holding him in, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we've had situations in the where if both of them weren't addressed, then he can't get out.
All right, Mrs. Champion, will you check to see if that charge is actually, I'm sorry, is it Miss Grace? Miss Grace or Miss Champion, will someone just check for me and make sure that that charge has not been filed over and will hold him in?
In front of you, position number 20, Mr. White.
All right, we'll check that other position while we do Mr. White. Mr. White, your case is 23 CR 005070J. You're charged with battery, family violence. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard, can I have the history, please?
I got 6 total. 2022 disorderly conduct obstruction. 20 ag assault, that was DWAP. 2019 failure to appear. 2019 terrorist threats, dismissed, theft by receiving conviction.
Okay, that's sufficient. Thank you. Mr. Blunt?
Yes, Your Honor. In this matter, the defendant struck the victim by punching near her right eye and grabbing her arm in a way that left marks. The defendant and the victim are siblings and lived together during this incident. The defendant also has an open battery family violence case in the DA's office. The victim, we were able to make contact with the victim. She stated that they still currently live together, and she confirmed the events in the warrant. My understanding is she is on Zoom, and I do see a Zoom with her name as the label. We're asking for a $3,000 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, whose name is Ms. Kishanta White, and a stay away from the incident location, which is 6530 Oakley Road in Union City.
Okay, so that's the sister?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. White, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Is that a yes? All right, thank you. Again, I'm not sentencing the defendant. Most concerned with concerns for your safety and desires for contact. What would you like to tell me in light of those instructions?
Can I say something?
I'm allowing you to say something.
Okay, I'm the other sister, first of all. And my other
Wait,
sister.
the other sister, are you the victim in this case?
No, my sister wanted me to get on Zoom because she
Okay,
couldn't get on.
no. That what we allow the victim themselves to speak, but not an additional party at this time.
Okay.
If your sister cannot get on, we'll need to speak with her. Would you like a moment to contact your sister to see if she can join via the Zoom link?
Yes, I'll call her.
We'll let that very briefly. Go ahead. All right, Ms. Kim, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 21 years old and she was born here in Georgia. And she has 2 babies right now. One is 1 year old and the other one is a very newborn. She's working at, oh, actually not she, I apologize. He was working at DHL as a forklifter, but he's gonna start a new job next week at Amazon. But his income is kind of low at this point, so he's still qualified for public defender services, even though he has those jobs lined up. Your Honor, he completed up to 12th grade, but he didn't get high school diploma, so he's still pursuing to get his GED done. We would like to request for no further violent contact because this happened more than 5 months ago, and actually he and his 2 babies are basically living together with Miss White's house, the sister's place, and he needs their help to raise 2 babies. So
Okay.
we would like to request for maximum $1,000 good bond if it has to be a surety bond. Otherwise, we ask for no further violent contact.
Your Honor,
All
I'd
right.
just like to clarify quickly. This incident occurred about a month ago. I believe PD Kim is arguing that the facts of the case that have been sent up to the DA's office, which is between the defendant and the defendant's child's mother.
Oh, I have 2 dates. One is March 15 and the other one is July 29.
That's correct. This is the
We're
July.
on the
20
July 29th one.
Okay.
Has the sister logged back in or logged in for the first time since we did not have the correct sister? I don't see
Oh,
her.
ma'am.
I don't see her. Your
Okay.
Honor.
All right. At this time, defendant received a $1,500 surety bond. He's to have no contact with Miss White and stay away from that incident location so long as Miss White resides at that location. He can return one time with law enforcement to get any items. And if he needs his sister's help and support to care for those children, he can coordinate the transfer of his own children with a third party. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons as a condition. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. What do we have next?
The position.
I have 12 is waived, 18 is waived. So the only position we should have is 3.
Mr. Tyler. Mr. Tyler Murphy.
I don't have that position on this calendar. Is there an add-on calendar?
Yeah.
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
I didn't get an add-on calendar and he's not on this calendar.
I received an email saying an add-on calendar was going to be sent out, but I'm not sure if it ever was.
Man, we've been in court over an hour. We ain't been out yet.
I don't have that position.
No, there's no add-on, and he was on the pull sheet, but there's no add-on calendar.
So what does that mean?
Murphy.
I ain't have no Murphy on my food sheet.
He's not on this calendar. So what does this mean? Can someone tell me?
Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
I was just informed by Mr. Jordan that position number 9, Mr. Johnson, the jail say they're about to add a charge. They just added it for a hit and run. We've already heard his case because it's a SOB bond and he won't be able to get out. So they just added that to his jail screen.
I don't know if the solicitor can take a look at it, but the warrant number is EW 0412129. It was just added to his jail screen.
That was EW 0412119.
2129. 0412129.
What about this case? Okay, what about the problem we have now with this gentleman that's sitting here? Can anyone speak to that?
I'll go check on him. And what's the name again?
Last name
Murphy Tyler.
Oh, Murphy Tyler.
Tyler. Okay, I'll check.
Yeah, I did have him.
He didn't make it onto the calendar. All right, while we're waiting and looking at the other things, can we do can we do position 3?
Yeah, out of position number 3 is an Alpharetta. We're trying to get in contact with them as far as their Zoom link.
Okay, can we do that quickly? Because I'd like us to not sit and wait if we can help it. Thank you.
What did you say about number 18?
That one is a waived appearance, so we're gonna do the waived cases, I guess, while we wait. I'd like to be able to excuse courtroom 2, but until we hear about 3, I won't do that. All right, we'll do the waived case. Ms. Kim, you submitted waivers for position 23. I'm sorry, position 18, Mr. Toure.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, case 23 CR 004069J, in which defendant is charged with loitering. Mr. Howard, can I have the history?
This is for Toure, number 18. All right,
Yeah.
17 total. This is 7th arrest this year. Last arrest was on the 3rd of this month for shoplifting. That was in Stockbridge. And he on probation for theft by taking out of car. He got a lot of trespass in his history.
Okay, understood. Mr. Pavan, if you would proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. In this matter, 2 nurses observed the defendant roaming around a restricted part of the emergency room area in Emory Hospital. They also observed the defendant sitting in another patient's room while that patient was away receiving medical care. And given those facts and the history, Your Honor, we're asking for a $4,000 surety bond. And no, I guess just a stay away order from the incident location, which is 550 Peachtree Street Northeast. That's Emory Hospital.
I'm assuming unless he's receiving medical services.
Yeah.
We wouldn't restrict him from that. All right, Ms. Kim, please proceed.
Yes, Mr. Toure is 57 years old. He was born and raised here in Georgia. Your Honor, he is residentially challenged.
I was assuming.
Yes, he does not have a phone. And he has not had any job for a very, very long time. So he's not going to be able to pay any money at all. So we would like to request for signature on bond, considering his financial situation. If Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, even $500 good bond will be still like a no bond for him. Thank you.
All right. Defendant is going to receive a $10,000 signature bond through the jail. He is absolutely to stay away from Emory Hospital unless he is receiving some emergency or medical treatment there. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Is there anything further as it pertains to Mr. Toure?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and then the other waived position, I'm sorry, was 12. That was the cross defendant case. I believe Mr. Pittman, is that correct, Ms. Kim?
Your Honor.
Number 12, didn't someone waive Mr. Pittman is not gonna have a conflict attorney. That's correct, right? And he's unable to appear. Is that why can't position 12 appear today? Does anyone know?
He wanted to waive his appearance. He didn't give a direct reason. He just said he wanted to waive his appearance.
Okay, I don't know that he can wait. Okay, let me think about this. He's entitled to a conflict attorney. He spoke with Ms. McLeod.
Yeah,
Ms.
okay.
McLeod cannot represent him, and he doesn't wish to be brought.
Judge,
Yes.
they saw the glass in courtroom too. So do we have another conflict attorney that can be so Pittman can be represented?
We don't. That's the problem. So either he needs to be brought so I can set his bond today, or I don't want to reset him. I would rather give him a bond at this time. Is it possible for him to be brought? Because the understanding, okay, we did not receive it.
Okay, so
Okay.
I can go to intake and get Pittman, but if Pittman tell me that he don't want to go to court, then I'll let you know.
All right, if he doesn't want to go to court, tell him that I can't set him a bond. He'll have to get reset to another day.
Proceed.
And he's likely to he should just come. Please strongly encourage him to come. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Back to this other position. Mr. Murphy Tyler, is there anything we can do with that one?
Do we have any updated information about Mr. Vaughn, not the position number 19?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
Position number 19, is there any update on the information as far as his other
I thought that wasn't Vaughn, that was a different position,
That was
wasn't it?
Johnson, number 9.
That was Johnson, number 9.
Yeah.
I don't think we have an update yet.
So we are reviewing that. Of course, that charge was not added when we discussed bond. So I'm not for sure if we want to put him on tomorrow to argue that tomorrow, or if we just want to bring him back
If he
to.
was booked in today on that particular charge, it wouldn't be Riverside, would it?
Nope. No.
No, it would not be Riverside.
So I understand that they just booked him on, so he does like
Well, yeah,
He
yeah,
just
if I
added the
may,
warrant, right?
it's arising from the same set of circumstances and facts. So
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
the
my
same
position would be, yes, it's
Gotcha.
arising from the same set of facts and circumstances that we already discussed. So if Your Honor is inclined to add a bond for that in line with his other, we would be okay with that if the solicitor's office is okay with that. I'm pretty sure.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, so we'll add a $1,500 surety bond since it's a hit and run. All right, because I remember the facts. Is there anything else anybody would like to add? You would like to speak? And you know what, I can hear a recommend. You know what? Let's do it correctly. I'll hear a recommendation from the state.
No, Your Honor, that's fine. I just wanted to confirm because I do believe, if my thought process, the original bond was a signature bond.
Right. So now he's gonna get
a
right.
split
And like
bond.
those were, he's gonna have a split bond. So it'll be a $3,000 split, 1,500 surety on the hit and run, and then the remaining charge will be $500 SOB through the jail. So he'll have to make bond on the hit and run.
Understood.
All right. Any objections? Any comments from the state of defense? Okay. Now back to position 3, the one who's in Alpharetta. Do we have any information about that?
He's on his way to jail, in a few minutes.
Okay, now back to the position that's sitting there. Anything, anyone have any idea?
That's Tyler Murphy. And, one more thing, again, Your Honor, position number 19, Mr. Vaughn. It's still about the second charge, of cruelty to children. And the third degree.
NOD.
That charge was NOD. It's showing on the booking screen as a NOD.
Appreciate you, thank you.
Regarding Mr. Tyler, I was on an email thread with Deputy Falk, and we never received him, and we asked for the charges.
Okay, so since only because we're already waiting for position 3, is the state able to address this case today, or does it have to be reset to
I'm
tomorrow?
looking at it. I was trying to see when he was booked in on this.
He was on the full sheet.
I understand. I'm just
August 17, he was booked in.
Mr. Taylor was booked in on 17. He was,
Okay. I think Judge Mincy owes me something for this one.
Nah, we owe you. How about that?
Right, we owe you. Don't worry.
so I can go ahead and accuse it, but of course it's going to take a few minutes if the court would indulge.
We're already waiting for
All right,
Alpharetta.
well,
We're already waiting for Alpharetta.
I'll
So
accuse it and I'll check back in if the clerk can pull down the charges and we can.
thank you, Mr. Walker. We
All right.
appreciate it. You have earned the Snicker bar today. I have quite a few of those to purchase. All right. Please, someone. Yes.
do you still want to hear from Mr. White's sister, position number 20, because I believe she's on as iPhone 2.
We're just sitting here. She's where? Where is she?
iPhone 2, I believe.
Okay. Okay. Give me one moment. Let's go back. What did I do with Miss Grace? What did I do for that case? I don't remember. Can you tell me what my ruling was?
1,500 shield bond.
I know, but what was the conditions, Miss Grace?
It was no contact, and I would like to.
Contact and stay away.
Yeah, no further violent
Okay.
content.
And you are Miss Keyshawn White?
Yes, I'm Kishanta White.
Would you like to make a statement?
No, I don't want to make a statement. I mean, at the end of the day, that's still my brother. I mean, we
Okay.
go through stuff.
Understood. Okay. I appreciate you coming to court and being present. Ms. Kim, you wish to
Yes.
say something?
May I please ask her?
Well, she's not under oath. She didn't request to make a statement. But okay, we're gonna place you under oath since this is an unorthodox situation. Ms. White, will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm that the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, at this time, you have declined to make a statement. So if you do not wish to answer Ms. Kim's question, I'm not gonna force you. But your brother's attorney does have a question for you. You can hear it, and if you wish to answer, you can. Go
Okay.
ahead, Ms. Kim.
Are you afraid of your brother, Mr. Shawan White?
No.
Do you want him to return home at 2900 Lower Ridge Road?
Yes.
That's it, Your Honor. We would like to request for no further violent contact. Thank you.
Mr. Falon, any comment, question of the witness since I allowed Ms. Kim?
Nothing for the witness, Your Honor. I would just highlight that they still live together and that he has an open battery family violence case.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the ruling as is for now. It can be revisited. All right, thank you, Ms. White. I appreciate you coming to court.
You're welcome.
Any
No.
announcement? Any announcement yet for Alpharetta at this point? Okay, is this Mr. Pittman?
This is Mr. Position number 3.
Oh, this is, so we're not waiting for Alpharetta. Okay.
No,
I'm sorry?
We're not waiting on operator. He's right here.
Okay. And pronounce your last name for me, sir?
Zuzio.
Zuzio, your case is 23CR005077F. In this case, you're charged with theft by receiving stolen property with the offense date of August 17th. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney. And I believe Ms. Kim is here to represent you. I'm conducting this proceeding over the internet. That means anybody can watch this. It's also being recorded. Do you understand your rights and how I'm conducting this hearing today? You can nod. Do you understand?
Sorry?
Do you understand your rights?
Yes, I do.
All right. Mr. Howard, can I have position 3's history?
I got a second arrest, 2017 probation. He was recommended.
Okay. Mr. Kwan, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. In this matter, officers responded to a report of a stolen tag. The victim reported to officers that her car had broken down in an area for about 3 months. And when she went to retrieve the car, she noticed that the tag was missing. Officer was able to search that tag in the ROC system that officers use and found the tag on a vehicle in the area. So the officer canvassed the apartment complex, found the owner of the vehicle, and defendant admitted to owning the vehicle that the tag was affixed to. Judge, given the defendant's history, we're asking for a $1,000 signature bond. We'd ask that it be through pretrial and no further contact with the victim, who's Miss Pamela Orrick. I don't have any reason to believe that should be on the Zoom, but I'd like to sound for her anyway. Miss Pamela Orrick.
Is Ms. Orrick present? All right, Ms. Kim, I'm inclined to accept the state's recommendation in light of the information before me and give him a $1,000 SOB through pretrial with the conditions of having no contact with Ms. Orrick and and having no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Do you have any objection or anything you'd like to add, Ms. Kim?
No, no objection, Your Honor.
All right. All right, so he will receive the $1,000 signature bond through pretrial, and he's have no contact with Ms. Orrick and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your hearing at this time. Is there an announcement for position 12, Mr. Pittman?
He's right here now.
Okay, Mr. Pittman, come quickly. Your case is 23CR005062G. In this case, you're charged with a fray with the offense date of August 17th. You have a right to remain silent, and you also have the right to an attorney. Unfortunately, you do not have a conflict attorney assigned to you today. One was not available. What I'm going to do is listen to the arguments as presented by the state, as well as your history, and set a bond for you. If I do not feel I can give you a signature bond at this time, I am going to set you on the calendar for the next available calendar tomorrow as well. Okay? And do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, wonderful. Mr. Howard, can I have his history?
19 total. He was arrested back in May for probation. He on probation for robbery out of Coweta County. He got an open unlawful removal of baggage cargo from a bus, rail, aircraft, or terminal. He got a couple of probation violations from this year, one from last year. 2021 failed to appear. 2020
think
criminal damage to
That's
property
good,
conviction.
Mr. Hart. I got it. Thank you. That's good. Mr. Jones, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. So Your Honor's already aware of the facts, as this is he's one of the co-defendants in the 3-defendant case. Also want to say that there's an outstanding warrant in Noonan for that probation violation. The state's bond recommendation is going to be a $750 surety bond. Stay away from 160 Ponce de Leon Avenue. No further contact with Brianni Thomas and Mario Dawson.
All right. Defendant will receive a $500 surety bond. He's to have no contact with any of the cross defendants and stay away from that incident location. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. And because he did not have an attorney today, he's also going to be reset to tomorrow's SEA calendar, where we hope that a conflict attorney will be present to assist him if he does not make bond before then. Is there anything further, Mr. Jones?
What was the bond again? Bond amount again?
It's $500 surety, and I'm resetting him to tomorrow in the hopes that he can have a conflict attorney. All right, anything further? All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Pittman. You have a $500 bond. All right, I believe that is the entire calendar. Is that correct?
Mr. Tyler?
Still have Mr. Murphy. If I could just have
Oh.
1 more minute, I will have the case accused. I'm on the final count as we speak.
Okay, thank you. I got ambitious. We'll take a few minutes break. Ms. Grace, in the meantime, will you review the calendar for us?
Yes, ma'am. Is everyone ready?
Thank
Position,
you.
Position number 1, $2,500 pretrial bond. Position number 2 is a $4,000 good bond. Position number 3 is a $1,000 pretrial bond. Position number 4 is a $500 good bond. Position number 5 is a $5,000 pretrial bond. Position number 6 is a $500 good bond. Position number 7 is a $2,000 SOB through the jail. Position number 8 is a $1,000 good bond. Position number 9 is a $3,000 split bond. Position number 10 is a $2,000 good bond. Position number 11 is a $2,000 split bond. Position number 12 is a $500 good bond. Position number 13 is a $500 SOB through the jail. Position number 14 is a
13 is
$5,000.
pretrial or jail? I'm sorry.
What was that?
What was number 13?
$500 SOB through the jail. Number 15 is a $1,000 good bond. Number 16 is a $2,000 pretrial bond. Position number 17 is a $1,000 good bond. Position 18 is a $10,000 SOB through the jail. Position number 19 is a $2,500 good bond. Position number 20 is a $1,500 good bond. Any questions, concerns, or comments?
All right, yeah, I got another question. What did you say number 13 was? Because I was looking at 14 with the SOB jail.
13 is $500 SOB through the jail, total $250 on each charge.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, and I have the
All
Tyler
right.
Murphy case.
All right, we're ready to proceed on that case?
Yes, and I can give the court the case number. It's going to
All
be
right.
23 CR 005-081E. He's charged with 1 count of theft by shoplifting, 1 count of criminal trespass, and 1 count of obstruction. The state is going to be recommending a $500 surety bond on each count. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 761 Sydney Marcus Boulevard, which is a Quick Trip gas station. They spoke with the store clerk, who advised that the defendant was in the store shoplifting at that
Hold
time.
on one second, Mr. Walker. Is courtroom 2 here?
Oh,
Is courtroom 2 back?
sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
One
I
question.
apologize.
All right, Mr. Tyler, did you understand? Let me ask you this. You weren't here for your rights. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Anything you say can or will be used against you. I am conducting this hearing over the internet. It's being recorded and live streamed. Do you understand your rights and how I'm conducting the hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Walker, so $500 on each count?
Yes, the defendant was arrested at the Quick Trip 761 Sydney Marcus Boulevard for shoplifting. In the process of that arrest, he did resist arrest, which gives basis for the obstruction. I'm showing 1 previous arrest out of Brookhaven, and that is for possession of drug-related objects and a disorderly conduct, and that is from May of this year.
Okay.
But Tyler,
Anything further to add to the history, Mr. Howard?
yeah, give me 1 moment, please.
We'll give you 1 short moment.
All right, so he got 15 total, resident of Louisiana. Last arrest I got was July 23rd out of DeKalb County for obstruction, trespass, shoplifting. He do got to open disorderly out of Brookhaven, possession of drug-related objects, trespass. As far as Louisiana, he got open simple battery, theft, flight from an officer, domestic battery, unauthorized entry of an uninhabited dwelling, and violation of protection order. That's it.
All right, Mr. Walker, do you wish to amend your recommendation based upon that history, or are we going to stand with the recommendation as given previously?
I'll stand for the $1,500 total surety bond. That's fine.
All right, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 32 years old, and he's been here in Georgia from January 2023. He is currently unemployed, and also, Your Honor, he has been residentially challenged. And what he the theft by shoplifting, the total amount of the goods that he took was $10.21. Actually, it was for the sandwich that he was very hungry. We would like to request for signature on bond, and yeah, that's all, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Walker, does the state confirm that he just took a sandwich?
I'm
For the-
looking at the report. It does not say sandwich, it says merchandise, so I can either confirm or deny. It says merchandise.
All right, so what we'll do is the defendant's gonna receive a $1,500 split bond. On the theft by shoplifting, it's gonna be a $500 SOB through the jail. The trespass will be a $500 surety bond, and the destruction will be a $500 surety bond. So he'll need to make bond on the 1,000. He's to stay away from that location on Sydney Marcus and have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Tyler. Are there any other outstanding issues before I dismiss courtroom 2?
Just
Yeah,
on the case, go ahead.
I just want to make sure that Mr. Johnson is aware of that his bond changed, because we didn't bring him up, we just changed it. So I just want to make sure he knows.
I'm gonna tell him. I had to head back that way anyways.
And on that bond order, we can include the case number and the warrant number, since that hit and run
Once
was
that charge
added.
was added, yes,
So
so
the
that he
jail
can
just
be
knows.
processed, right, he can actually get processed out, that makes sense. Okay, I believe that concludes the entire calendar. Ma'am, I know you're waving, but you're not a victim in this case, so if you have questions, please contact his attorney. All right, or unless you're waving as a defendant, which is also inappropriate at this time. All right, courtroom 2 can be excused at this time, and I believe we will be in recess until tomorrow's SCA calendar. No, we had quite a few questions and moving parts today. Did we resolve all outstanding issues? I believe we did.
We thank you for being here.
We thank you for being here, Your Honor.
All right, everyone take care. Again, Mr. Walker will get that Snicker bar. I should be on site on Wednesday. I'll have a bag full of candy for those who I've previously awarded. All right, y'all take care.
I just wasn't trying to leave at 5 o'clock.
Okay, Mr. Howard, duly noted.